Hello and welcome to my very first Vlogmas. I started this channel back in January, so this is the first year that I've been able to get involved with Vlogmas. And if you are new to my channel and therefore haven't seen me talk about this on any previous podcasts, my plan is to do a weekly Vlogmas, not a daily one, because I have a full-time job. But I'm very excited to do the weekly one, and this is the first time I've ever bought a yarn advent full stop, so that's exciting. And I'll talk about the advent that I've got, but I was particularly drawn to this one because it does also include a read along, which in my case is going to be a listen along because I haven't yet mastered reading whilst knitting, because I do need to look at my knitting a little bit. But I will talk to you all about the advent in just a moment, but I will show you what I've been getting up to this week. And yeah, it's been a nice festive start to the week, putting decorations up, going and visiting my village Christmas market, and generally just doing some nice things like that. So this is my stepdad's absolute passion at Christmas time. He has been building his collection of Lemax model Christmas village scenes for probably about the last 10 years, I guess. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of it. And this is just phenomenal to me. The amount of care and attention that he puts into it is staggering. We've got everything from campsites to Victorian ballroom dancing, you name it, it's in there. And it's stunning. And they set this up in their conservatory every year, and it grows and grows every year. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because, to be honest, it deserves for more than our family and friends to see it because it's staggering. Unfortunately, it has also given Steve the idea that he wants to build his own. So we already have a few pieces because he's been heavily influenced by seeing this every single year. But if we were going to collect anything, why not something like this? It's amazing. Well, it is that time of year again, so now I'm getting ready to put up my decorations because it doesn't feel properly Christmassy until decorations are up. So I'm going for it. I've just been to the hairdresser, had my hair did. So first off, I'm going to apologise for the pyjamas because I don't think anybody really needs to see this. This is one of my favourite things to do in the year. Don't ask me why. I think it stems back to being a kid, and my mum used to make a big deal out of the Christmas decorations. It's probably a good job I don't have kids because I'm slightly militant about how the Christmas tree has to look. I don't know why I'm like this. I blame my mother. There was a very specific way that obviously she wanted her tree dressed, and we had our own tree that we could vomit Christmas onto, but obviously the main tree in the living room had to look spot on. And I'm very much the same. I want my tree to look nice. So I have a very specific way of doing it. Steve is out of the house, thank God, so he's not getting in the way. I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine, even though it's a Tuesday, because I'm putting the Christmas decorations up. Usually it would be a mulled wine, but I'm not in the mood for mulled wine. So I'm just gonna have a nice glass of white wine. I'm going to put some Christmas music on in the background, which I won't be able to play because, you know, YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to have fun putting my decorations up. So come along and join me.
Every year my village has a Christmas market, so on Friday I went to have a look around and there were some great stalls. This stall here is for a local artist, Lesley Cresswell. I'll put her details in the description below, but she goes out and visits local farms where you'll see there's various cows and donkeys, and then creates what she sees in those lovely animals on various different things. I picked up some coasters, which I'll show you later. And this is Snowflake Sentiments. It was a really lovely Christmas stall. Loads of decorations, homeware-y kind of bits and bobs, and I again made a little purchase here. But I thought everything was really lovely, and the two ladies working the stall, who I assume are Snowflake Sentiments, were lovely as well. This little light walkway takes me to my local yarn shop, so I thought I would take you in to see her as she was staying open late for the market. I know I am so lucky to have a yarn shop on my doorstep, particularly one this size, because she is quite a big shop with loads and loads of variety, as you can see as we mooch around. She also offers crochet and knitting classes, and there's nice little space for knit and natters. It amazes me that every time I go into the shop I still manage to find something new, and I actually did on Friday as well, because as you can see I've just spotted some sock yarn that I've not discovered before. So she's constantly getting new things in, and yeah, this is my little happy place, so I couldn't leave without going. But once I was home, it was time for a festive glass of vino and a little look at my haul. So that's the colour way that I ended up going for. And these coasters too, I just thought absolutely adorable. One's for me, one's for a friend. And then from Snowflake Sensations, that lovely little white house is a nice little addition to our Lemax collection.
Let's have a little talk about my advent calendar. So, like I said, this is the first time I've ever purchased a yarn advent. I looked at it previously, and obviously there is a significant cost involved when you're buying hand-dyed yarn, and I saved up pretty hard to be able to afford this year, because I'd got absolute FOMO and envy whenever I'd watch Vlogmas and see everybody with their beautiful yarn advents. But I also wanted to be practical about it, so I didn't think that a daily advent was going to work for me. I have started crocheting this year, but I don't crochet a huge amount. I didn't envisage myself knitting blankets with lots of minis. I would now probably be quite comfortable doing a daily yarn advent with my crochet skills where they are, because I think I could make a relatively quick blanket, but knitting a blanket takes longer. So either which way, the one thing that I do a lot of is knit socks. So I thought a weekly advent that gave me sort of a decent sized skein and a contrast mini that I could make up into socks over the course of Advent would be perfect. So that's what I went for. And I did a bit of scouring of the old Tinterweb and came across Skein and The Stitch. So this is my yarn advent box from Skein and The Stitch. And what really appealed to me with this was that the theming of the advent was Anne of Green Gables. So it was like an advent in Avonlea, but because of that, there's also going to be a read-along taking place throughout Advent as well. And there's going to be a Discord for me to join where I can basically meet up with like-minded people who are not only knitters, but also readers, knitters or crocheters, or just fibre fans. So yeah, this really appealed to me. The colours from the kind of teaser of the mood board, again, really appealed to me. They looked very much my vibe. I also have the 52 Weeks of Socks book, which my brother bought me last Christmas. So I've got lots of sock patterns that I still need to do, and I've got quite a few in my Ravelry as well, if I'm being completely honest. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity. So I'm very excited to get this open. If you haven't, so massive spoiler alert, if you haven't opened your Advent from Skein and The Stitch, and I would also say, even if you haven't got the weekly Advent and you've got the daily Advent, there could well be some duplications, I guess, in terms of the yarns that are included. If you haven't opened yours yet, please look away. Come back when you have though, because I'd love to share this with you, but I'm very excited for this. Okay, so the box has got a nice, very satisfying magnetic closure on the bottom here that clips quite nicely, but if we open it up and see what we've got. Okay, so I've got some tissue paper. There is going to be rustling. I think you're all ready for that, so that's fine. Okay, so let's have a look. Ooh, okay. So what have we got here? So, okay, so we've got some information for the read along, and then each of the skeins for each week is wrapped individually. Perfect. So I've got read along information and some information on the opening schedule. It is the first Sunday of Advent, and these were some of the images that we saw as the teasers, so you can see some of the inspiration. Now, my mum was talking to me actually when I told her what this was themed on. So she's mid-60s, and she very clearly remembers being obsessed with a TV adaptation of Anne of Green Gables. And I've never read the book, and I'm slightly too young to remember the very popular, I'm assuming it was a BBC TV adaptation. But I am going to be listening to the audiobook, which is narrated by Rachel McAdams, whose voice is very well known and therefore should be nice and comforting. With my Amazon Prime subscription, I get one free audiobook from Audible each month, and it starts today, so I'm going to be downloading it as soon as it allows me to do that. But I will get myself onto the Discord. There's a QR code on the back of here, so I can get myself onto the Discord for the read along. What else have we got in here? Okay, this says open me ASAP, so I guess we should probably do that. Ooh. Oh, we've got some stitch markers. Oh, these are lovely. These are really lovely. Let's, I think that might be slightly better. These are really pretty. That's got a little dove on it. That looks like it's a snowball, but very pretty snowballs, not comedy snowballs. We've got a flower, and then we've got like a little, I don't know what colour that colour is. Maybe it's a bit jadey, but very pretty. Ooh, so I've got some lovely stitch markers to get started on all of my socks. But now, the main event. So I will say it again for anybody who didn't hear me the first time round. If you have not opened your Skein and The Stitch Advent in Avonlea, Anne of Green Gables themed Advent yet, and you don't want it to be spoilt, turn away now. So, week one. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is lovely. Right, so I'll read out what I've got on the back. So it's called Scope for the Imagination. So it is a 100 gram main skein, which is 425 meters or 437 yards. It's a 20 gram mini, which is 85 meters or 93 yards. And it's a 75, 25 superwash merino and nylon. And here are the colours. So we've got some absolutely beautiful purpley are quite earthy purples though. Purpley mauve, very dusky colours. There's some hints of green in there as well. Well, you look at these, and then quite a decent tonal solid. Oh, these are going to be so pretty. That's the back of the label. And that's the Skein and The Stitch main logo. Oh, this is lovely. There's even hints of like pale blue in there as well. I don't know whether you can see that just in there. If I move my face out of the way. See the little pale blue mixed in there? That's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. Ah, gorgeous, gorgeous. And there is some variation in the mini skein as well. So it is more tonal, but there's definitely some lighter, dustier parts to that as well. That's going to be so pretty. Now, my plans for these are for the Petal Drop socks by Florence Miller. So I'm very excited to get these cast on. And I think I might do that right about now.